Now is the time for leaders ready to honor Jesus Christ in a radically different world. In courtrooms, in classrooms, in cubicles, in clinics, in studios, and counseling rooms, in pulpits and legislatures, on Wall Street, on Main Street. Now is the time for a new generation prepared to be salt and light servants of Christ. But who will prepare them? Who will get them ready intellectually, morally, spiritually, for the challenge of a culture without Christ? Now is the time to go back to the future. The founding fathers of America understood the biblical truth that righteousness exalts a nation.
Human rights can only be assured among a virtuous people.
Only a virtuous people are capable of freedom.
Civil government cannot be long preserved without virtue.
And they understood that the minds of the people must be informed by education to provide a sure basis for the order of government. No one understood that better than John Witherspoon. 250 years ago, he left a comfortable life for the wilds of America and spent the rest of his life educating the revolutionary generation, the first leaders of America, a president, a vice president, 9 cabinet officers, 21 senators, 39 congressmen, 3 Supreme Court justices, and 12 governors. It wasn't job training, resume building, or career enhancement, but education for life, education for leadership, education that lasts. John Witherspoon College seeks to reclaim that great legacy with Christ-centered education that transforms by the renewing of the mind. Now is the time for a Christ-centered college in the incomparable Black Hills. The dream of so many for so many years has become a reality. From a small Bible institute with a handful of students in night classes to some 60 students and 10 different degree programs, JWC is the only institution of its kind in a growing, dynamic region. With a stellar faculty, expanding resources, and an uncompromising commitment to truth, John Witherspoon College is earning a reputation for Christ-centered excellence.
It's gone above and beyond. As far as the quality of education I've received is nothing that I've ever experienced before in high school or in a secular university.
In rhetoric class, they taught a lot of writing skills, speech skills. We spent probably a month or 2 simply on logic. Every week we'd have to give a speech.
And John Witherspoon is attracting some of the best and brightest, committed to serving Christ in the church and in the world.
I don't want to feel like I'm being programmed, I want to feel like I'm being educated. And I do feel that way at John Witherspoon. We read a lot of classic literature. In the American history course, we not only learned about John Locke and Montesquieu and Rousseau, but we read treatises from those people. In my ancient history courses, instead of learning dates and times and people's names, we've read through the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Aeneid by Virgil, and so forth.
John Witherspoon College has brought great changes in Rob, and I'm very grateful for the wonderful influence. He has he's taking his academics much more seriously, and he's taking his faith walk far more seriously and seeking to serve the Lord, and that influence has been priceless.
JWC does a really good job of helping me to see the scope of what being a leader is. It isn't just simply having a type A personality and being the kind of go-getter, but rather being the type of person that is, one, able to serve others.
I'd say the kind of education I'm getting here would be a very well-rounded Christian education, and I've been really blessed and I've learned a lot.
I realized that I wanted to study the Bible and Christianity, theology, the original languages, and how to think through the world we live in and how to honor God.
Now is the time to make a God kind of difference through a new generation of revolutionary leaders. In a world where college is simply out of reach for many families, where millions of government dollars come with long strings attached, where more and more are asking whether a college degree today is worth the price, John Witherspoon College is affordable excellence. Tuition at JWC is less than half that of other private institutions, even lower than public colleges and universities with millions of taxpayer dollars.
Well, I'll say a big part of it was the price. That I don't have a lot of money right now, so.
And thanks to people like you who believe in the mission of John Witherspoon College, scholarships make it possible for students to make a God kind of difference in this world.
The scholarship programs are awesome.
I've gotten the JWC Opportunity Scholarship. I've gotten the Trustee Scholarship.
This scholarship program is astounding.
I got one for a military discount since my dad was worked in the Air Force.
Trustees Scholarship and the Opportunity Scholarship.
The Patriot Scholarship and the Citation Scholarship.
It has helped me to grow spiritually and mentally. I've matured here, I've made good friends, and yeah, I'm happy to say that I'm going to be able to graduate with zero debt.
Carol and I came to these beautiful Black Hills 12 years ago, but we didn't come to start a college. God gave that vision long before we ever laid eyes on Mount Rushmore. He has just given us the undeserved privilege of having some small part to play in making that vision a reality. And now, little by little, piece by piece, God is building a great institution for His great glory in this great place. But a great vision for a great institution demands great sacrifice.
On July 8, 1776, the Liberty Bell rang out from the Pennsylvania State House in Philadelphia, announcing the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence. 4 days earlier, with firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, 56 men pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to the cause of liberty. They were urged on by a 53-year-old college president and pastor named John Witherspoon.
There is a tide in the affairs of men, a nick of time. We perceive it now before us. To hesitate is to consent to our own slavery.
And thus a new nation was born in the willing sacrifice of devotion.
John Witherspoon knew what it meant to sacrifice. He risked his very life for the cause of freedom when he signed the Declaration of Independence and urged others to sign. He lost a son in the Revolutionary War. He spent his own fortune to educate the first generation of America's leaders. That's the vision John Witherspoon has left to this college that bears his name. But John Witherspoon College is not my vision. It is a vision from God for all of us who name the name of Christ. A vision for an unapologetically Christian college in the Black Hills. It is a vision for our children and our grandchildren, for this city, for these hills, for this nation. In a desperate hour 250 years ago, John Witherspoon gave his life, his fortune, his own sacred honor to prepare a generation of leaders for a new nation. Now is the time for a new generation of revolutionary leaders. Now is the time to reclaim the noble vision of John Witherspoon for another desperate time. Now is the time for sacrifice. Now is the time for John Witherspoon College. Now is the time.